Housing market here in central Indiana is matching expectations for a strong spring and start of summer. That's according to Dan Brown, our expert realtor from FC Tucker. He's here with your real estate rundown for the month of May. So May was looking pretty good. Home sales, they're up.
May was very busy, and sales are in fact up. They're up a solid 10% over the month of April, which was a busy month, and we're up substantially over last year, which is a real indicator. So, no, we're moving into a very strong and healthy spring market, driven by increased inventory, and of course, with that, we're seeing some price increases too. Demand brings. It raises prices, and so one of the takeaways is that prices have escalated. We've now matched. In our median price, we've now matched the highest price, average price we had, which was last June, and so we're there already. And that trend will probably continue through the summer. It's not unusual for prices to pick up in the spring because of demand, but we're there a little earlier. And we expect that pricing trend to continue through the summer.
I think your note said 10 grand.
It jumped up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's in the median. That's the median price that we track, which is the most average price. In the metro market, in the donut counties, that figure is actually higher. And the average is probably closer in the metro areas to 400. But yes, it escalated substantially in just 1 month.
Are we having more houses and homes that people can go look at trying to get inventory-wise?
Absolutely, and that's one of the influences of the warmer weather, and of course a season where people have decided, hey, it's time to give up that 2.5% mortgage. We need a bigger house. So that brings more houses to the market. I think a lot of people in our market have decided that we can't just wait forever, and that brings more inventory. We're up 20%. Which is substantial over last year. That's an enormous amount of difference. And that brought more buyers. If there's more houses to look at, they're going to be out there. The thing is that they're being sold quickly.
Oh, how many days, if someone puts their house out there, do they expect it to be on market then?
Well, a couple of months ago, it was 22 days on the median. It is now 11.
Wow.
So it dropped in half. And some of that is seasonal. It's not unusual, the difference between March and May. But that's a pretty quick turnaround. And in some of the more desirous and sought after markets in the donut counties, that figure's even lower, and it's closer to 6. So it is, people are buying with intention. They know what they're after, and they're out there and they're buying to win.
Do you think people are just starting to accept mortgage rates?
Oh, absolutely. The mortgage rates that we're dealing with now, which are historically are actually pretty average, have been in place now for over 2 years. In fact, they trickled down just a little bit last week, and they held steady. They've been holding steady through the entire spring market, around and just below 7%. So people are absorbing that, and they're working that into their budget. I think so.
So what does that mean for anyone looking to buy or sell right now? What's your advice to them?
Well, right now, I think certainly, as I always say, have a plan. Sit down with your lender, sit down with your realtor, actually map out a strategy. But most importantly, don't wait. It looks like right now that's going to cost you. Both on, sellers are being rewarded with near asking price returns, which we track that as well. It's approaching 99% of asking price, which is substantial. And with the price increases, waiting might not buy you a savings. So there's a lot out there to look at right now. There's going to be more. I think the time's probably good to get busy.
It sounds like you're going to be a busy man.
We already are.
Dan Brown, thank you so much. We'll see you next month for our real estate rundown.